Tensions in the Middle East have sharply increased after Iran launched a large-scale missile attack toward Israel, raising fears of a wider regional conflict. The incident has drawn immediate international attention, with governments around the world calling for restraint and warning that further escalation could have serious consequences for the entire region. According to early reports, multiple missiles were launched during the attack, triggering air raid sirens in several areas and forcing residents to seek shelter. Israeli defense systems were activated in response, and military officials began assessing the scale of the incident and any resulting damage. Emergency services were also placed on high alert as authorities worked to verify reports from affected locations. The attack marks a major escalation in the already tense relationship between Iran and Israel. For years, the two countries have accused each other of hostile actions, cyber operations, and indirect military confrontation through regional allies. However, a direct missile strike of this scale would represent a highly dangerous turning point, increasing the risk of a broader confrontation involving other states and armed groups in the region. Israeli leaders strongly condemned the attack and said the country would take all necessary measures to protect its citizens and defend its territory. Security officials emphasized that Israel remains prepared for further threats, while political leaders began consulting with allies, including the United States and other international partners. Iran's position, according to statements reported by various media outlets in similar past incidents, is often framed as a response to what it describes as aggression or provocation. Iranian officials may present such actions as retaliatory or defensive in nature, though these claims are heavily disputed by Israel and its allies. In moments like this, both military action and political messaging play a powerful role in shaping the next phase of the crisis. The United States and several European countries have expressed deep concern over the situation. Calls for de-escalation have come from the United Nations and regional powers, all urging both sides to avoid steps that could lead to a full-scale war. Analysts warn that any direct conflict between Iran and Israel could affect global oil markets, regional stability, civilian safety, and international diplomacy. Pakistan and other Muslim-majority countries are also closely watching developments, as any expansion of the conflict could have far-reaching political and humanitarian consequences. Many governments are expected to push for dialogue, emergency diplomacy, and crisis management to prevent further deterioration. At this stage, the full impact of the missile attack remains unclear. What is certain, however, is that the event has added a dangerous new layer to one of the world's most sensitive geopolitical rivalries. The coming hours and days will be critical in determining whether the situation can be contained through diplomacy, or whether the region moves toward an even more unstable and uncertain future. This is a developing story, and more verified information is expected as officials continue to assess the aftermath and respond to the rapidly changing situation.